Okay, the final question says, find the missing angles in each problem below using the geometric relationship shown in the diagram at right. Be sure to write down the conjecture that justifies each calculation. Remember that each part is a separate problem. So A and B are not the same problem. They're two different problems. So let's take a look at A first. In A, they say that this angle labeled D is 110 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and label that 110 degrees right here. That's in the same spot as D. And they say that the angle labeled K is equivalent to 5x minus 20 degrees. Well, I see where this is going, right? These two lines are parallel to each other, and we have this conjecture that says that if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the alternate interior angles, meaning this angle and this angle, that's a pair of alternate interior angles, they're congruent to each other. And if they're congruent to each other, they have the same measure. So what I can do to answer this particular question is I can come along and say, look, let's let 5x minus 20 equal 110 degrees. If that's the case, if I add 20 to both sides, then I get that 5x is equal to 130. And then if we go ahead and take and divide both sides of that by 5, we're going to get that x is 26. So x is 26, and if I plug it in, that angle is 110 degrees also. So for this one, I guess my answer is x is 26. And if I plug it in, 5 times x minus 20 would produce 110 degrees. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at B. In B, it says that the angle measured B, right, that's this one right here, this angle, is 4x minus 11. So right, 4x minus 11 degrees. And the angle labeled N, which is right here, is equal to x plus 26 degrees. So that's down here, x plus 26 degrees. Well, these angles don't look equal to each other at all, do they? They're definitely different size angles. But I know something. I know that this particular angle and this particular angle are congruent to each other. A conjecture is, when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, the corresponding angles are congruent. And another conjecture I have is if two angles are formed off the same line, they form what we call a linear pair. So if I look at it, this angle that I've labeled with the green and the one that I've labeled with orange, they have to add up to a straight angle, which is 180 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and move this 4x minus 11 degrees here. And because of the fact that I have a pair of corresponding angles and a linear pair adds up to 180 degrees, I can write the following equation. We can say that 4x minus 11 plus x plus 26 is equal to 180 degrees. If I combine like terms, that's a 5x. Now let's see, 26 subtract 11 would be a plus 25? No, not plus 25, plus 15. I'm subtracting 11. Plus 15. And then that equals 180 degrees. Next, we're going to go ahead and subtract 15 from both sides. That gives us that 5x is equal to 70 minus another 5 is 165. And then finally, if I divide both sides of this by 5, we get that x itself is 33. Now, if x is 33, right, I can use that information now to find these angles. So x is 33. That means that this angle has to be 33 plus 26. That's a 9, so that's 59 degrees. And the other angle has to be 4 times 33. Oh, I'm sorry, I need a calculator. That's pretty pathetic, Mr. Roberts. 4 times 33. Oops, that's 4 times 3. 4 times 33. And then I'm going to subtract 11 from that, minus 11. So this other angle has to be 121 degrees. So one of them's 59, and this other angle is 121 degrees. And just to verify, those angles should add up to 180. So if I do take the 121 and add to it plus 59, I do indeed get that it's 180 degrees. So there's my answer. X was 33, but the two angles were 59 and 121.